But now inflation has fallen every month since June 2022, and major Wall Street firms only see a dwindling prospect that higher interest rates will cause a recession this year, and stock indexes have climbed near levels not seen in more than a year. But with the Fed poised to raise the rates this week for the 11th time in 16 months, it's an open question of exactly how much their aggressive moves have tamed prices, and how much credit should go to other factors beyond the central bank's control. The distinction matters as the Fed debates how much higher to raise the rates and scans for signals that its policies are working, compounding the challenges that all the hikes up to now won't hit the economy with equal force or on a predictable time matter, meaning that more stimulus payments are necessary. Folks, we got a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI and SSDI. New Social Security update: the final batch of monthly payments are going to be sent out this week. Millions of Americans can expect to finally receive the check tomorrow. And several top lawmakers, including Chuck Schumer, are moving forward with a bill. These bills would improve the cost of living for retirees and seniors. And it's the final week of the Social Security Administration sending out payments for the month. If you haven't received a payment yet, it can arrive this week, depending on your date of birth and how long you've been receiving Social Security. If you receive SSI, you won't actually get a July check, and you should have received it. But for people back then, July 26th is the payment date for people with birthdays between the 21st and 31st of any given month. The average American 65 years age and up earns an annual pre-tax income of $55,000, and the same group spends a $52,000 yearly payment or $4,300 a month on things like that. That income doesn't lead to a lot of extra cash for the unexpected expenses or emergencies. The average American saved 65 to 69% and has about $200,000 in the retirement savings. And according to analysis from the Federal Reserve, many seniors might still need to work even when they reach a retirement age. Because health spending retirees make up an annual income of $7,000, and one way to cut costs when health issues arise is to get easily affordable preventive health care. Home costs represent the largest expense for retirees, accounting for 36% of their annual expenses. Experts say that retirees who want to gain a leg up may want to consider downsizing as prices could remain high. This can mean selling your current home for a profit, which leaves you room to stash away money for retirement, boost your emergency fund, or pay off debt. One drawback might be that you also pay a higher price for a replacement home in the market, and at $6,500, food prices account for over 12% of the annual increases in expenses for those 65 and older. But meal planning is one way to overspend, since it doesn't involve shopping for food items as opposed to regularly eating out. And also, major prescription pricing legislation to cap the cost of insulin is also in danger of falling. The legislation is a priority for Democrats, and Chuck Schumer has said that the hope was to combine the insulin bill and legislation reforming the pharmacy benefit manager industry. It will be a package that can get bipartisan support and a vote before the end of summer. In a press conference, he said that passing an insulin bill was a very high thing and a very high priority. The Senate lawmakers last week have already addressed this problem and begun taking up their version of their annual defense policy bill. The House pushed their more controversial and partisan version just more than a week ago. And senators intend to just start negotiating with the House by the end of the month. Still, several committees in both chambers are discussing this situation and have different ideas to reform pharmacy benefit managers, and senators said they are confident there will be enough momentum when they return from the August recess. A lot of the bipartisan action is actually being paid by the committee, but different measures from different committees and some overlapping subjects could complicate the matters. So let's see if Joe Biden can get the fourth stimulus check approved. I have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, SSDI, and also SSA. Now, first of all, I want to say thank you for your support, everybody, and thank you for watching this channel. As a way for me to show my appreciation to you, I want to give away a free $60 Amazon gift card. So here, everybody, here's the code for your free $60 Amazon gift card. If you'd like to redeem the code, just enter it in the checkout aisle. And all you gotta do to enter it is subscribe to the channel. First of all, it's happening, and you may start to receive extra monthly benefits soon. The recent cuts to SNAP benefits have made a huge impact on the economy, but as the Federal Reserve warns the country to expect a recession, state lawmakers are passing new bills that will boost benefits by hundreds of thousands of dollars. And now, extra SNAP payments during the crisis expired in March and left millions of people with smaller SNAP balances in their accounts. This cut reduced monthly benefit amounts by at least $95 as Americans continue to deal with the largest annual increase in food prices since the 80s. And according to Morgan Stanley estimates, this reduction has had a rippling effect as cuts led to a $4 billion economic slump in March, while consumers have tightened their belts. Things are not looking good. Yahoo News reports that the retail sales are typically an essential guide of shoppers in the confidence and financial stability. Consumer health is vital in determining the overall state of the economy, and now the expiration of SNAP benefits is another catalyst that will lead consumers to become more cautious and spenders in allocating a greater share of their wallet away from discretionary items. So while sales fell across the board for many brick-and-mortar stores, online retail sales are up 1.9%, and Reuters has even pointed that it is likely due to consumers looking for details and discounts to get lower prices. And even data from Bank of America also revealed that Americans slowed their usage of credit card and debit cards recently. A slowing economy can be an indicator of a potential recession, meaning less money headed to your wallet and more money moving out, depending on where you live, that is. The credit is available to certain California households that qualify for SNAP, and in 2014, the state SNAP agency, CalFresh, began issuing state utility assistance subsidy benefits to qualifying households. Under the program, the state can increase food benefits for certain SNAP households as well, if they also qualify for heating assistance under the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. The senator has also introduced the introduction of a bill that would expand and strengthen SNAP benefits for more than 40 million Americans. The Closing the Meal Gap Act would actually increase the baseline for SNAP and eliminate eligibility limits and barriers. Because we know that many financial experts have spent much of 2022 warning consumers to gear up for another recession. And yes, that is happening. And a big reason for boiled down to interest rate hikes, everybody. And what this means that economic recessions have the potential to drive unemployment up, way up. And that's the fear a lot of Americans are grappling with right now. The idea of losing a job can be terrifying even during periods of economic stability, but losing a job during a recession can mean struggling to find work for months on end. Hopefully the next recession won't be as intense as the last one, and the idea of a 2-year recovery is surely not good. Now's the time for Joe Biden to do stimulus checks
here at home, but we also recognize that as we continue to speak to partners around the world about the importance of meeting their ambitious climate goals and commitments, that we need to be in a position to demonstrate that we're making progress here at home. So across the climate issue, across a number of issues, this will be important for us, but for any implications for South Korea, I would need to refer you to colleagues.
That it? Well, yeah, this is basically it. The tax gap lies in these categories. And what I'm saying again is the Joint Tax Committee has identified in which income cohorts there are expected payments of taxes that are less than those due. And if you've got 87,000 auditors coming on board, by the way, that is 6 times the annual budget of the IRS. 87,000 auditors coming on board.